Welcome to Fame Academy. Today we are going to learn totient function, which is also called as Euler's phi function. Euler introduced this function in 15 October 1759 paper titled Demonstration of New Method in Arithmetics, in Theory of Arithmetics. Title was in some other language, Theoremata Arithmetica Novo Methodo Demonstrata, such was the title, and it is presented to Petersburg Academy in 1759 AD. And Euler given generalized version of Euler-Fermat theorem. Euler-Fermat theorem. Fermat theorem. Fermat's little theorem. Before that, Fermat was published little theorem, and according to Fermat's little theorem, if highest common factor between two numbers, say a and n, or a and n is 1, highest common factor between two number a and prime number p is 1, then a raised to p minus 1 equal to 1 mod p. This was the Fermat's little theorem. This is the Fermat's little theorem, and Euler given general version of this by using totient function. So what he did, he taken any general number and defined if GCD of an is 1, two number a and n is 1, then a raised to phi of n equals to 1 modulo n, friends. That means remainder of a raised to phi of n is remainder of a raised to phi of n divided by n is 1. This was the theorem, friends. And what is meant by phi of n, friends? So here phi of n indicates number of indicates the number that are co-prime to n, or number that do not share any prime factor to n and that are less than n. So number less than n that do not share any prime factor with n. So total number of such numbers, phi of n, count total number of such numbers. Example, friends, phi of 3. Now number that do not share any prime factor with 3 and less than 3 are nothing but, friends, 1, 2. So 1 and 2, there are two numbers, so phi of 3 equal to 2. Similarly, phi of 2, phi of, let us take 5. So how many numbers are there that are co-prime to 5? Co-prime means number that do not share any prime factor with 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of these numbers, 1 and 5, there is no prime factor. 2 and 5, there is also no prime factor. 3 and 5, no. 4 and 5, no. So 4 and 5 are relatively prime to each other, and 5 and 5, that shares factors. So there are 4. In general, if p is the prime number, friends, like 7, 11, 13, then if we list number from 1, 2, 3 to that number, say up to 11, then out of these except last number, all these number do not share any prime factor with 11. That is, there is no common factor between these number and these number other than 1. So they are relatively prime to each other, friends. Now take example. So relatively prime to each other. So out of 1, 2, 3, so on up to 11, there are 10 number which are relatively prime to 11. So phi of 11 equal to 10. Similarly, for any other prime numbers like phi of 13, the number of relatively prime number less than or equal to 13 are nothing but 1 less than 13, that is 12, friends. So our first result is phi of p is nothing but p minus 1. Phi of p means number of total number that are co-prime to p, that is, they do not share any prime factor with p and that are less than p. So relatively prime numbers up to p, prime number up to p, total number of relatively prime number up to p. So phi of p means total number of relatively prime number up to p to the p. Now according to Fermat's theorem, friends, what it says, if GCD of A and n is 1, that is highest common factor or greatest common divisor, highest common factor or greatest common divisor between A and n is 1, then A raised to phi of n equals to 1 modulo n. Example, friends, 3. If 3 is the number hour, let us take A equal to 2. So 2 raised to phi of n, phi of 3 equal to what? That is total number that are relatively prime to 3 and less than 3. So 1 and 2 are such numbers, so total 2 numbers are there. So phi of 3 is nothing but 2. So 2 raised to 2. 2 raised to 2 is nothing but 4, friends. So placing 2 raised to 2 is 4. Now if we divide 4 by mod n, here n is 3. So 4 by 3 divided gives quotient 1 and remainder as 1. And thus here a raised to phi n equals to 1 is valued, friends. Thus we verified this theorem. Similarly, friends, this phi function is very useful in RAC algorithm, Rivest-Shamir-Adleman, Rivest-Shamir and Adleman, Ron Rivest, Adi Shamir and Leonard Adleman published this algorithm in and it is used in banking, e-commerce website or Visa card, Mastercard for secure transaction, friends. And there are two users thousands miles away from each other and they would like to contact each other securely, or they would like to do some transaction such as through banks or through e-commerce site, then that information is very sensitive and it should not be easily accessible to any other person through network. So how to protect that? So in order to protect, RSA algorithm use public key and private key. RSA algorithm gives a way, and it is asymmetric crypto asymmetrical algorithm, and it have two keys, public key as well as private key, friends. And by using public key is given to sender, and that sender, what will do sender, if this is the message he has to send, then it will encrypt, or this is plain text, it will do cipher with help of, means encrypt with help of public key. And public key is nothing but given by receiver, and it is nothing but number n and e. So this forms the public key, and then the cipher text is transferred through network, and at receiver get this cipher text. Receiver what will do, the cipher text is decrypted by receiver with help of private key. And private key are nothing but n comma d, that is the same number shared with this n, and d is nothing but it is inverse of e, modulo inverse of e with respect to phi of n. So friends, if this is the message, then what will do, sender will encrypt this message by raising it to the power n and taking mod n. Message is converted into integer, and this integer is read to power n, and mod n is taken, and then this is sent through network. And at receiver end, what is receiver will do, raise this cipher message to the power d and take mod n. Now since e and d are inverse of each other, modulo phi, so mod phi n with respect to mod phi n. So friends, this is nothing but mod phi n, that means it is product ed is just greater than multiple of phi n, friends. So here if we put m raised to ed as the multiple of phi n plus 1, then we get m raised to k into phi n into m raised to 1 and mod n. At the receiver will do this operation. Now we know that m raised to phi m, GCD of m n, n is generally, friends, 1. So m raised to phi n is nothing but 1, and raised to k power is also 1. So this becomes 1, and this we get original message. In this manner RSA algorithm is used, and in that RSA algorithm phi of n, that is totient function is used. Totient function is used, and by using this totient function, private key is calculated. So n is two big prime number are taken, and these are multiplied together and we get n, and any number e which is relatively prime to phi of n is taken, friends, and these are given to sender as the public key, and private key is calculated as e inverse modulo phi of n. So what is meant by inverse? So inverse, calculating inverse with respect to some number is nothing but, say d is the inverse, then calculating such number such that product of this when divided by this number gives remainder 1. So that means ed modulo ed must be 1 modulo phi n, and such the number that satisfies this equation is nothing but inverse of e. Example, friends, inverse of 3 with respect to modulo 7. Now we like to calculate inverse of 3 with respect to modulo 7. Means we have to find such number so that such number n, so that when we divide this number by 7 we get remainder 1. That means 3n is 1 modulo 7. So what is the number? 3 into 2 is 6, 3 into 4, 3 into 5. If we do 3 into 5 we get 15, and when we divide 15 by 7 then we get remainder as 1, friends, because 15 by 7 equal to quotient 2 and remainder 1. So n must be 5, friends. So 3 and 5 are inverse of each other with respect to modulo 7.